how to align with your purpose and unlock your full potential. Hi, and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to align with your purpose and unlock your full potential. Now, first of all, why do we want to live our purpose? I get asked that all the time, like, what's the point of even finding out what our purpose is, and how does that apply to my business, to my life, and what happens to me every day? Good question. Now, when we live our purpose and we're in full alignment with who we really are, we bring our best version to everything we do, in business, in life, in leadership, in no matter what area, you name it, you will unlock your full potential. What that means is that you're going to feel in flow. Things are going to be expansive. You're going to magnetize projects, opportunities, possibilities to you that are aligned with your vision and what you want to create in life. Your impact will unlock and unleash, and the positive ripples are endless. Now, how do we find our purpose? How do we figure out who we're really meant to be? Also a great question, and it happens to me all the time that people come to me and say, how do I even figure out what my purpose is? And often they are part of masterminds and conferences and like business coaching kind of programs. And in those programs, often they're being asked to stipulate what is your purpose and write it down. Now, the issue with this is, generally speaking, it's a great question. However, people tend to be living in their mind. And when we're being asked this question, to answer that, generally speaking, people will go into their mind to try and figure out the answer. And let me tell you, it doesn't work. You won't figure it out in your mind. The reason for that is our purpose is who we really are, in our uniqueness, in our own cocktail of experiences, the stories we've experienced, the experiences we've made, the situations we've been through, and often the hardships we've gone through and come through are the main keys to really identify what our purpose is. Now, it takes inner introspection, it takes an inner journey to really figure out what that is, so we can not only name it and clarify it, but also know it and feel it and embody it. So it takes a bit of inner work. However, it can be an amazing journey to not only figure it, really go inwards and unearth it, but it's gonna be a life-changing, amazing unlocking and unleashing of everything you've ever thought was possible if you really figure it out and live it. Now, it's not meant to be a silver bullet as such, and it's not a thing that we just go, yep, that's my purpose and now I'm on it. It's not like that, because things can get in the way. Now, what comes in the way is sabotage patterns, blockages, inner hurdles, things that make it feel not so easy. So a lot of times people ask me, well, if it's meant to be my purpose, why is it so hard to live? And the reason for that is that we have a comfort zone, and our comfort zone is often far, far away from our dreams and our purpose. Now, our inner desires, our yearning, our calling that we all have inside, that we either listen to throughout our life or not so much, it is there to guide us along the journey. Not only living our goals and vision and the aligned goals that we have, but also the full version, the full-blown version of who we are and our potential. Now, if we follow that inner calling and the little, tweaks and pulls that we have in life, then we'll be guided naturally to living the fullest version of who we are. The problem here is that most people don't listen to those calls, the pulls, because, dogma, what we experience, the musts, the shoulds, the pressures we have in life and in business are real. And what happens is we generally tend to follow those because they're responsibilities we can't put down, we have stuff to do, and therefore we get distracted with our life from what we're actually meant to be living. Because remember, when we live our purpose and potential, it's out of comfort zone, it's in danger zone, it's far away from what we've known so far. But the epic thing about it is that it feels the most amazing. It unlocks success, it unlocks fulfillment, it unlocks flow, and awesome stuff get magnetized to us. Now, how do we find it is a great question. There is lots of different pathways in. It is an inner journey, as I mentioned before. But there's a few specific steps we can take. There's like amazing tools out there such as human design, there's the gene keys, there's amazing profile tests we can do that help us understand ourselves more. So step one is really understand yourself more. On my own journey, I've read more than 10,000 feet in the past that tell me exactly what the person's purpose and potential is. I know it sounds a bit out there and people have often interviewed me about this topic, but our purpose is written in our body. It's written in our feet that represents our whole body. And it is mind-blowing what we can find out about our strengths, gifts, weaknesses, and things we need to align or realign so we can live our full alignment, who we're meant to be, and our purpose and mission. When I read these feet over all those years in the past, what I found mind-blowing was that no matter how quickly I could tell people exactly what it is that they're meant to be bringing to this world in order to unlock their most fulfilling life and most successful life, the curious and interesting piece was that they didn't just run out the clinic doors and started doing it and living it. Not necessarily, it just depended on where they were at on their own journey already. But most often I found it took them a few years. At the time of me reading their feet, often they got so blown, in their mind of like what's potentially possible, that it was often so far away from what they were living that sometimes it took them a bit of time to grapple with and gone like, oh, I don't even know what she's talking about. So when that happened, a lot of times later, like many years later, 3-4 years later, I'd receive an email or a letter saying, Sand, you probably most likely won't remember me, but you read my feet and what you said was totally accurate, and back then I didn't understand what you were talking about, but now I'm living it as my reality and I love it. So thank you very much. That always warmed my heart, because it's amazing to see that what happens when people really live who they are and meant to be. Amazing stuff happens. Magic happens in business and life, relationships, and you name it, in all areas of life. And that's what I want for you. Now, in order to discover that without, reading your feet or getting your feet read, because that's, as you know, it's not very common to find, we need to find different tools. Now, I've got some modules and questionnaires to share with my clients that helps them dive deeper and find their expression modalities. What that means is it's literally, in a nutshell, the golden thread that's been coming through the whole journey of your life that establishes the topmost expression modalities that you have been literally sharing yourself, your gifts, your knowing, your strength with the world from a young age onwards. This golden thread establishes exactly the 5 topmost expression modalities that you have that don't only unlock the greatest fulfillment of you, but also come most naturally to you. And they are your gift to this world. Now, there could be connection, there could be traveling, there could be transforming, there could be speaking or listening or writing or reading. There could be anything, organizing, managing, you name it. We get all of it. The important thing is to establish your expression modalities and the order of them, of priorities, because no matter what and when you've gone through life, no matter if you've done a job that was so far away from you feeling fulfilled, or you've done something that felt full expression, amazing explosion, inspiration type direction, no matter which way, you would have really lived your purpose. Sometimes it's like volume buttons. They're turned down. Some of them are up, some of them are turned down. What you'll find is the more they're all turned up, the more inspired you feel, the more in flow you feel, the more amazing stuff happens, the more you feel expressed and seen and loved and you name it, all the things in the world. And your business thrives, your relationships thrive, you feel amazing. It's magnetizing, right? So how do we establish those expression modalities? Like I said, I've got a questionnaire, I've got processes where I can help my clients with that. However, generally speaking, what you want to do is you can use pathways such as getting your human design. There's free profile tests online that you can do where you can get your human design profile downloaded and then understood and read. myhumandesign.com is a great resource. I can highly recommend it. Now there's also gene keys. You can get a report also based on your profile, meaning your birth date, your birth time, the place of your birth, and your name. So it's not really hard, you just need a time of your birth, which sometimes can be tricky for people to find out. But if you have that, go ahead, get your profiles and start, exploring who you are on a deeper awareness level. Now, there is so many more profile tests we can do, but all of them will just give you sort of clues and aspects of who you really are. But the more you can find out about how you roll, how you tick, what you love, what doesn't serve you, what unlocks your energy versus what deprives it and exhausts you, the more you can create flow in your life and the more in alignment with your purpose you are. But in a nutshell, it's all about you living your gifts. Living what you're here for, what you find comes to you naturally and at ease. It's not the complicated stuff. It's your ikigai. In Japanese ikigai, it's really about finding that sweet spot where you feel unlocked and unleashed and at ease, and everyone thinks it's amazing and I find it hard to do, and you think, what's their issue? Then you know you found it. You know you're living your purpose when you're at ease, doing things naturally, they inspire, they give you energy, and you find it easy. You find it natural. That's what it is. And that's the most magical spot you can find. That's the genius you got to unlock and unleash. And that's the piece that you need to bring forward in your business, in your journey, in your life. Generally speaking, bring it forward. So when you do that, you're literally gonna unlock amazingness on all levels. Wealth, flow, fulfillment, you name it, on all levels, it's epic. Now, what happens when we don't live our purpose? What happens if we know it, but we can't seem to do it? We can't seem to get ourselves out there and live it and share it with the world. Now, when that happens, and there might be real reasons for that. There might be a family, there might be one or two or more businesses that are on your responsibility list that you need to pay attention to, that you can't just let them, be on their own devices and hope for the best while you, spend time on this other thing that you're really passionate about. It's not that easy. We need to balance our responsibilities, our energy, our efforts, our focus, and that is fine. It's about managing that. So I have a resource to download, which is the 7 forms of resistance. And it is a resource that goes, broad level into the 7 main forms of resistance that come up for people that hold them back from living their purpose, their dreams, and their vision. And I highly recommend you grabbing it. It's in the description below. You can grab a free download of this ebook and have a read and explore those 7 forms of resistance and figure out, is one of them playing out for me right now? I really, really highly encourage you to do that, because it's really amazing to have that understanding of what can get in the way. And it's not what we think, it's not that obvious, and it definitely applies to all of us. So with these 7 forms of resistance, there's, for example, one of them is distractions. Distractions can be in form of, the family needing you, your business needing you, the team needing you, your clients needing you, you name it. You are required most likely everywhere. However, your purpose requires most of you. However, that doesn't mean it has to be equal proportions of time and space. It doesn't work like that, luckily. So even if you have a full schedule and your calendar is booked out and you're so busy, needed everywhere, it's about you following that golden thread. It's about you making little spaces, pockets of time where you listen within, where you connect with yourself, your values, you live your values, you make sure you honor yourself on a deep level and live forward with those pieces that you know about yourself that you need to live. It is a journey, it is a transformational journey, and if you need any support in that area or you don't even know where to start, please reach out. Comment below or reach out ideally on sand@sandmew.com, and I would love to support you with a call, a complimentary call, just to really dive deep into where you're at, what you're dreaming up, and what seems to be in the way. And let's establish a strategy for you that's aligned with who you are, individualized. That's the key. It's very unique to you, so you can live your purpose and get, any roadblocks out of the way so much faster, so you can live who you are and meant to be and bring the impact that you're here for. Can't wait to connect with you. Bye for now.